Bananas. I know this looks like a tree, but it's not. It's a weed. It's called banana. All kidding aside, yeah, it's actually a large herbaceous plant. If you're in a survival situation, these trees can almost make it easy. You can cut one down with a machete with only 1 or 2 hard chops. And I'll tell you why. Let's walk closer to it. Have to climb into the weeds here. Okay. There it is. Out of all these banana trees, that's the only fruiting stalk I've been able to find. But there's usually at least one good one every year in this strand of banana trees. I'll go down the list of uses for bananas. Wild banana trees. There we go. Get my footing. The original banana tree doesn't have the pulpy fruit that you get in a store. It looks like fruit, but instead of pulp, it has seeds encased in a hard material. Those seeds can be ground into flour. The leaves can wrap food for storing or stuffing into the hot ashes of a campfire. You wrap the food, whatever meat or root that you want to cook, in the fire. You bake it in the fire by wrapping it in banana leaves, and you stuff it into the hot ashes of the fire and just let it cook for hours or whatever, however long you need to cook it. Now the leaves can be spread out on the ground to collect rainwater for cooking and drinking, or they can be used to provide shelter material. A very versatile plant, this banana. The green fruit can be used like plantains. Those fruit right there are still green. They could be used just like plantains. If they are hard to peel, just cut them in half and boil them for 10 minutes. Once they've boiled a little, the peels will come off very easy. Then I change the water and boil the pulp until the desired tenderness. The ripe yellow fruit of some species are quite sweet compared to store-bought. The large red flower, the flower at the bottom of the fruit stalk, can be peeled of its outer layers and eaten raw or boiled. I chop it and boil it until it's soft. It's hard and chewy raw. The tree has a sticky sap, which can be used like glue. The sap near the fruiting stalks are the stickiest. I once pulled a fruit off of a stalk and got the sap on my hands, and it was like glue. But the sap toward the bottom of the stalk, when I cut one down once, wasn't very sticky. So I figured the closer you get to the fruiting stalk, the sap is stickier, like glue. The green core in the center of the trunk, after you peel off all the outer layers, is edible cooked, but chewy, like a chewy cabbage. For making a salt substitute, you can try burning the fruit skins, leaves, and stalk into the ashes. Burn it right down into ashes. I don't know how well that works, but there was a report that you can make a substitute salt from burning the material, the banana tree material. Banana trees are strictly a tropical and subtropical species, and there are many varieties of them. You can plant one small sprout, and over time they will push up new stalks from the same root. The root system sucks water up from the ground. So if you cut down a tree just above the ground with a horizontal angle and then dig out the center of the trunk, creating a hole in the center for water to collect, you can provide potable water for days. The first bits of water will be bitter to some extent. If you have a straw in your pack for drinking water, you can easily collect water that way. Or a papaya leaf stem. You can fashion a straw, a drinking straw, from a papaya leaf stem. A hard freeze we had a few winters ago killed our papaya trees, but spared these bananas. banana trees. Now for making water, for getting water from the banana tree, I cut it down toward the bottom, about a foot above the ground, with a horizontal chop straight through it. Well, it took a couple of chops, but it's a very soft material to cut through compared to other trees. It's not really a tree, like I said, it's a weed. But then after I did that, I harvested the core of the trunk, and then I cut out a hole in the middle, in the bottom of the trunk on the ground, so that water could seep up from the ground into the hole of the stump. And the first bits of water I got out of it was very bitter, but after a few minutes it started to seep a cleaner water into it. So that's the banana tree. It has many uses, many survival uses. You have to hope that you're going to find one if you get into a survival situation.